Hello, everyone. I am a little bit early, like by a minute or two. So I'm going to give you guys time to catch up. And I'm just going to be sitting here, getting myself ready for this whip and chat, going over some notes, getting my stuff out too, getting prepared. So let's see here. I think I'll keep my eye on anybody popping in. I feel like I want to start talking, but then I'm going to have to start talking again because I'm a little bit early. Here we go. Put you guys here for a second. Cut this back. Well, I believe that it's probably 10 o'clock. So good morning and thank you for joining me. And thank you for every time that you decide to spend time with me, whether it's in a live, whether it is in a self-care Sunday, whether it's just a whip and chat or catching up. So much going on. I have some notes in front of me because I have been up since the alarm clock woke me at 5 a.m. Thank you, husband. The alarm clock woke me at 5 a.m., which I immediately think of you guys because that was one of the chapters that we covered in the listening path. And, if your alarm clock bothers you, then you should change it. And I don't know, for some reason, my husband's just got louder. But Sunday, Self-Care Sunday, was such an interesting topic. And thank you for all of you that commented. I was hoping that I would have gotten some comments from who your heroes are. And, John and I have been talking about this for 2 days now. We have been talking about what an interesting topic it was. I know that he was very happy to join in, and he was happy to say, like, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of it. I want to talk about my heroes. And it was such an interesting topic. Hello, Fatima. And it's such a great conversation starter. And I actually said this to someone yesterday, that if you want to know who a person is, ask them who their heroes are, and you'll get a good idea. Hi, Nappy. Hi. You'll get a good idea of who they are. So people are signing on. Let me show you what's going on here today. I have some notes here, but here we go. We are working on Mr. Rico today. I should have turned him the other way. There he is. He's a beauty. I love him. I love him. I don't know what took me so long to take him back out again. But hi. I was saying to you guys that I was like in a funk, and that I just wanted to do something to make myself happy about, what is it that we do to make ourselves happy? And I actually added a thumbnail to that because the topic really with yesterday's whip and chat was what to do to make yourself happy. Yes, we diamond paint, but what else do we do? Because the diamond painting, it started with the diamond painting. It started with me bringing out Rico and being like, well, I love having Rico here because his color palette is just so beautiful. I love flamingos, and I just, it's the color therapy. But what else do you do to make yourself happy when you're in a funk? And yesterday's whip and chat was just that entire topic, like what to do when you're in a funk. What do you do? And I had given you guys a bunch of links to check out because from bringing this color palette in, I'm currently working a lot on Night's Rest, which is golds and mint color, kind of pastel-y, and a lot of black. And the black drills were driving me nuts. And so I was like, I need a break from this. I need a break. I need something uplifting. I need something cheery. I need to, just do something because I felt like that with when I did the Winter Fox. When I did the Winter Fox from Camilla Dorico that you can get at Diamond Art Club, it was just a bundle of joy to do that diamond painting. I had so much fun with that diamond painting that I wanted something colorful. And you can see from the colors here, how beautiful they are, just so gorgeous. And that began my journey into, well, what else do I do to make myself happy? And another thing that I do is I listen to a lot of music, and I'm always looking for like a great DJ or a great music. I love yacht rock. That's something that I love to do. I love to listen to yacht rock. I'm going to finish up this square over here. Um, and what else do I like? Disco, 80s music, and I found an incredible DJ, and I put the link on yesterday's Whip and Chat to this DJ that I found here on YouTube. His name is Serega, Serega Bolinkin, Bolonkin, and like, he's just stuck in my brain right now. And I just had the best time with his videos that he was playing, and not just it wasn't just the music. It was just such a great jam of music, of like funk, of soul, of disco, of 80s. But he has the original videos. So you're watching the original videos when they came out, and you're listening to this great music. And I'm just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm like in Studio 54 or something. It's just so much fun. I'm down on this one, so let me get this one out. Oh, close. Close. It must be this one here. Here it is. And then I was thinking about, well, you guys that know me know that I journal religiously every morning. And even if I don't feel like journaling, I do it because I never feel like that's a waste of time. I always feel like, I'm going to get something out of it. But the things that I do on a regular basis, if it's called, self-care, if that's the way you want to look at it, to me, they're just habits, are very meditative in nature. So we're reading the listening path right now, and we're doing all that work. But that's the artist way, where you journal and you take artist walks and you take artist dates. And I just was like, all these things are so meditative in nature. I'm in a very yin kind of mood. And I need to get some yang into my life. I need to start balancing myself out. I'm like a little bit too introspective, a little bit too mellow. And I need to, and not that our world is lacking any type of excitement, but I just felt like I need to bring a little bit more color, a little bit more activity. And that brought me to the next thing that I do that makes me very happy. I found another YouTuber that I really love, and his name is Rick. It's called Get Fit with Rick. And I wanted to go out and walk, but if you're living along the East Coast, we had that terrible heat wave. It was just, unbearable humidity. And who wanted to deal with going out for a walk in that? And every time I opened the door, I closed it. I'm like, I need to find somebody on YouTube that is doing a walking program that I could just do indoors. And I found Get Fit with Rick. And Rick, as soon as you turn him on, you will have the biggest smile on your face from ear to ear. He is just an amazing person, very happy, very joyful, great music. And I'll tell you what hooked me. Because before I even turned his channel on, what hooked me was, it was 8 minutes. It was an 8-minute walk, and I figured, okay, that's doable. I'm going to take a break from my diamond painting. It was an 8-minute walk to all Bruno Mars. Now he's got all different kind of playlists, but this was Bruno Mars, and you could have did like a mile. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. But I'm telling you, the music was great. But I wasn't even that interested in the music as much as I was the joy that he was bringing to this, Get Fit with Rick. And he's just so much fun, and he's outdoor. I don't know where he is. It might be Dubai. He might be in Dubai, but he's like on the marina, like a promenade, and you could see cruise ships in the back. And he is just so much fun and so much joy. and you're just having the best time. You're doing your own thing at some point. It's just like, let's just, just have a big dance party. So that was the other thing that I do that brings me joy. And what else? I'm just really, I think with my mother's party that I had planned for last week that ended up being canceled after doing all this work because she got COVID 2 days before the party. So it had to call everybody up and had to cancel. So I think all that energy that you're, getting things together, you're calling people up, you're making plans, you're making food, you're running errands. She went and got herself like a what do they call it, like a gazebo that she wanted to have installed, and it was a lot of work. And then she got sick. And on one hand, it's like, oh my God, the madness can stop now. But on the other hand, it's like you're just you're upset, and you're like, there was a lot that we had going on there. We had a band, and it was a lot. But John and I just crashed after that. We just crashed. So I think with all that, everything that's going on in the world that I don't ever want to talk about because it's enough now. You guys have enough of it, and I know that you don't come here to listen to this stuff. You come here to escape like I do. So you'll never hear me talk about that anything that's going on in the world, no matter how crazy it is. And I just think that it was really funny. I will say this one thing. I did turn on the news, and Megyn Kelly had said, I'm just back from the shore. They threw this war paint on my face. I had no idea what she was talking about. And she was like, but I'm freaking exhausted. Like, I only got about a half an hour in me. I'm tired. And I was like, wow, even the newscasters are tired. So I don't feel so bad now. But I do think that, when you're like in that, I do think that it is a stress thing too, when you're pumping out all that cortisol and you're just going, and you're not taking a breath and you're not stopping, and you just keep pushing forward. That when you do stop, you stop hard. You work hard, you play hard, and then when you rest hard. There's no doubt about that. And so when I was looking through my YouTube history, my history was saying that I was doing a lot of yoga nidra, and I'm like, wow, you know what? That's true. All week long, I did a ton of yoga nidra, and I think that's what really made me aware of the fact that I really needed to change things up. I like my routine. I like getting up. I like writing in my journal. I like that private time that I have to really get myself together and get clear, because then I'm clear for the day and I'm more productive. But there was something in me that was saying, you need to change this up a little bit. Well, I'm never going to change my writing because it's stream of consciousness writing, and that's what I do every morning. But I needed to change the routine up. And I get fit with Rick in the morning now. We have a dance party in here every morning. Sometimes my husband's calling, and he's like, can you tell me why you don't answer the phone? And I'm like, I am doing my thing. I always call him back, but I gotta get that in, because his schedule is so erratic. I never know when he's going to be coming through the door. So I want to get that in so that I could, I want to take care of myself, because if he comes through the door, it's enough sometimes when I have planned to be videotaping or editing, and he comes in and he's his own ball of energy, and everything gets kind of like thrown up in the air, and that makes me very anxious. And I think that when you sit down with yourself and you write, and you do a daily check-in, that's what my writing is. I think you get to really know yourself really well, and the things that trigger you, the things that make you anxious, and you start to create ways. You create a toolbox that allows you to dig into and say, you know what, maybe I got to go out for a walk. Maybe I got to put on YouTube, and maybe I have to do my walking video and get fit with Rick, or maybe I put on Saraga and I put on this great music and dance around the house while I'm cleaning, just something to break yourself out of this funk. And it was so funny too. After I did the videotaping, I went to go make myself a note, and I have a note pad that is full of quotes. And I just pulled one out randomly, a piece of paper randomly, and the quote on the bottom was from Mark Twain. And it said, if you want to cheer yourself up, cheer someone else up. And I thought, well, yeah, that's great, because the reason why, like, I know what I do to take care of myself, and I'm sharing these things with you. And so to keep it to myself, it's fine, but I think you get so much more joy out of sharing it with someone else and engaging someone else, and maybe lighting a spark under someone else where they say, you know what, that's a really good idea. I'm going to do it. I really enjoy Elisa. Like my students would say to me that I would teach yoga to, they would say, I can't wait until I reach the point. I'm laughing because it's funny. I can't wait until like I reach the point where I'm just like so enlightened that, I'm calm about everything. And, like you're always so calm, and like, but it's like, no, I'm not. Like, you don't come home with me. There are times that I'm like literally plastered onto the wall because I'm freaking out. I can't take a lot of things at once. And so, but it would always bring me joy when I would cultivate a class that would let them feel that, made me more human, is what I want to say. That was like a little sign for me when one of my students was like, I can't wait until I'm like as wise as you are, or as calm as you are, or as enlightened as you are. And I'm like, oh my God, you should come home with me. You should be home with me when I'm screaming at the top of my lungs and I'm driving everybody nuts. So I would like to cultivate a class where it made my students feel like, okay, you have your issues too. And I do. I have my issues here. I think that we live in this world today that is just so artificial, and we think that everybody's got it together and everything's perfect, but everything is just one big filter today, honestly. And I think we have to just keep that in mind, that nothing is as it seems, whether it's being videotaped or not. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And that was another big thing that I learned when I first got separated and decided, well, it was one of the times that I got separated, that I just wasn't going to sit in the house and sulk. I was going to start doing things and saying yes to things and saying yes to going out, instead of just feeling like, sorry for myself. And I started to do that. And, I realized that, wow, I thought this one had a great marriage, and I thought that one had a great relationship. And, it really wasn't. It really wasn't, because there were other things going on that, maybe their partner or their husband or wife didn't know about. And I was just like, wow, okay, no wonder why they're so happy together. They have, extracurricular activities going on the side. It was like, I could be naive like that. I really can be so naive as to think that no matter what it is, that it's perfect. So anyway, we kind of got off the beaten path here. I kind of did, because I started early, and then I was like, well, are you going to wait for people, or are you going to just talk? Because now you're just in the mood to talk. So this project, this is Rico, and I got him probably earlier in the year. I'm thinking that I got him last year, and I think I got him last year, and I was like, this is going to be my summer project. And I did take him out for a while, but then other things came up, and I was never the type of diamond painter that said, I'm going to, get things, get diamond paintings that I like and then put them in a closet. That would make me so unbelievably anxious. So I never did that, and I never worked on more than one diamond painting at a time. Now, I caught the bug. Now I have diamond paintings that are still in boxes, not many, but Rico needs to be done, and Crimson needs to be finished. I ran out of drills with her, which was really odd, and she needs to be done. So I'm going to take her out at some point before July is over, because she is a Christmas, she's a holiday. I look at her as a holiday painting. And so I'm going to do like Come Back Crimson for Christmas in July and finish her before July is done. I'm not going to get done my painting for Summer with the Masters, and I feel good about that because I was listening to Anthony today at Single and Placing. He did a vlog where he took Apollo out for a beautiful walk in Colorado through the forest, and they were having the best time. And he was talking about, his muga. He's doing a muga, and he said, I'm not going to get it done, but I think he has a problem with his muga. I'm not sure where he bought it from, and I don't want to say a name and it's not the right name. So, yeah, so I don't feel too bad about that. And I think with this year, with the rules being a little bit more relaxed this year, where you didn't have to have a new painting and you didn't have to finish the painting, because I think when it comes to a master painter canvas that you want to do, we tend to do these big master painting canvases, and we put ourselves under a lot of pressure. And it was nice that it didn't need to be finished, and I think a lot of us joined that. But I have to tell you, I got really lax all throughout Summer with the Masters. I really didn't watch videos. Like, I used to wait for them to come out on a Saturday, and I wanted to know like how everybody was progressing along, and I just didn't find myself doing that this year. I just kind of got caught up in my own thing, but I still want to participate. But I think that I am leaning more towards doing more master painter paintings in general, and I can't really find my taste in a lot. Like Anthony was saying, I'm like, are you kidding me? I just did an order with Diamond Art Club yesterday. I didn't realize I had all these points, and they racked up to like $50. And I said, John and I are going on a road trip, and I want to have smaller things with me to diamond paint. Once we get off the road, you want to relax and go to dinner, whatever. I want to be able to still do diamond painting, touch base with you guys. I'm taking you on my adventure. So maybe I'll start my vlog then. But I bought the Peanuts Gang because they were small enough. And I was like, this will keep me occupied for a little while. And Anthony was saying that he went over to Joann's and he got the Great Wave, and he got the Cypresses by Van Gogh. And I had already seen that unboxing, so it was nice to know where he got them at, because he said he got them on sale at Joann's for like $45 each. He's like, and then I went over to Diamond Art Club, and they really got me. And he was naming one canvas after another, but he said that Diamond Art Club did a revamping of Starry Night and added some really nice special, drills. Like, I think he said like 1 Electra, maybe 3 Fairy Dust, and maybe 1 AB. And so he's like, I'm so curious, because I think he said he did the original, and so now he wanted to see the revamped one. And I was like, well, that sounds really interesting. And then he was talking about, he's a Muka fan like me, and he was saying that, I don't know which Muka of the Zodiac canvas that he did, but there's like 3 of them out. I know one is from Diamond Art Club. I think the other one might be Jaded Gem Shop, and maybe the other one is Diamond Painting Shop. And what he wants to do for Muka Madness next year is he wants to do all 3 and do a comparison. And I'm like, wow. I looked at that Zodiac by Muka, and I think I have a couple of really intense canvases, so I didn't want another one. But he's going to do, I think he said he's going to do 3. I think he said he's going to do a comparison. And I think that's because of when he said that wherever he got this Muka from, I don't want to name the diamond painting shop, the diamond paint shop that he got it from. But he said that he went over to the diamond painting shop where I get my Mukas at, and he really liked their rendering better. And I agree with him. But Anthony is a master at, if you want to enhance your canvases, and I'm talking about Anthony at Single and Placing, who's one of the hosts for Summer with the Masters. If you want to learn how to enhance your paintings, definitely tune into him, because he gave me the courage to enhance Woman in Gold that I got from Diamond Painting Shop. Now I have the Diamond Dots one, and I'm going to be taking that one out during the holiday. But Anthony did Lady with a Fan, and when I saw what he did with Klimt's Lady with a Fan and how he enhanced that painting and truly made it his own, I was like, he is just a master at enhancing as far as I'm concerned. And I learned a lot from him. And he gave me the courage to go out and, you know, to try to enhance a painting. What's the worst that could happen? You take them off, right? You just pull them off. So Rico here is going to be going to Florida. I'll give you, if you guys are tuning in late, let me see. Let me give you another little shot of him. Is he gorgeous? I know what I love about him. Well, I love the whole canvas. I think that Diamond Dreamer Design did a wonderful job on him. But you know what I love about him? Let me see if I'm going to pull this part up here. I love this gold border that they did around him. And it has the flowers all around it. It is kind of Muka-ish in a way. Like this border that they have. I think it's so fantastic. And I love how they made the striations into the body of Rico, into the flamingo. Really looking at that feathering that is so beautiful. And then he has these exquisite blues and purples that come in, and more of the flowers. So, just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. And I'm like, why did I wait so long to take you back out again, Rico? I'm sorry. I keep calling him Nico. And I was saying yesterday in my Whip and Chat that I have two gentlemen that I've, worked with and for named Nico. So Rico got a middle name yesterday. He's now Rico Nico. So if I make a mistake, you know what I'm talking about. Rico Nico. But I love the color palette. And so we talked a little bit about color therapy, and I think that you can really absorb that in your diamond painting if you're looking to uplift yourself in any way. You don't, painters do this. Art therapy is what it's about. If you go and you take art therapy, most likely a therapist is going to give you a canvas or a sheet of paper, or give you whatever medium that you want, and you create, you paint or you draw or you sketch or you color. Art therapy, right? Color therapy. But this is already done for you. You have this fantastic canvas full of color and brightness and joy and beauty. And you could, I find myself just sailing away to thoughts of Florida, the upcoming trip that we're going to be going on, the time that I spent in Florida myself when I lived in Sarasota. I miss it so much. And so being that we will be in Central Florida, we're going to be traveling out to the East Coast. We're going to be visiting with his cousin. And then I'm able to also put a road trip in where we travel to the West Coast, and I can actually take John to where I used to live, and I want him to see that. But, we were kind of like up in the air where we were going to settle at. We're going to be on the East Coast, the West Coast, and now we're just smack in the middle. And I love that, because Florida, you can get in the car and you can go anywhere. And that's what I did when I lived along the West Coast. And get back to Rico here. That's what I did when I lived on the West Coast. I got in the car and we went to all different Keys. You can really just, lose yourself in the Keys and go and see a lot of them. Do I have any more of this color here? No, I don't. So you're getting put away. I love these Dreamer Design trays too, because as you can see, they stack one on top of the other very nicely. And then Dreamer Designs will also give you, when you order from them, these separators with your order. This is their toolkit, and you kind of put these separators on your tray, and you can have two colors in there if you like. Now I use these for the ABs, so I will stack all my ABs in here. And they don't intermingle. They fit very nicely. They don't intermingle. And then when you need to take them out, you take them out one at a time. and then you take the bar off, and then you go into the next one. So I really like that about Dreamer Designs. I think that they put a lot of work into their toolkit. Oh, what did I do here? Oh, it wasn't shut. And I like that they have their branding on the back. Everything, this is their color. This is their branded color. Has like little sparkles in it. It's really nice. I really like their toolkit. And I like that they give you this beautiful wax that I always say it's like a wax and a putty. It has a really nice texture to it. And I like that they give you a stylus that has like a cone tip for picking up your ABs. Let me see if I can find one here. And I don't put anything in that tip. I just use it with water. Here it is. I don't put anything with that tip. I'll just dab water on there. This is their stylus. They give you another one, but they give you this little placer here, and that's their wax in there. It has a very it has almost like a putty-like texture, but it's a wax. And that's what I love about it. It will stick to your ABs, so you do have to wet your wax. But this is what this is for. You just wet this, and I pick up. And I have to tell you, during the extreme heat that we had here on the East Coast, where everything was just like humid, and your wax is getting slippery because it's sweating, and your putty is getting stringy, and how many times can you run back and forth to the refrigerator and put it in the freezer or whatever? So what I did was I just used this. I'm like, guess what? If I have to just pick up my drills one at a time, then that's fine, because slowing down and hi, Chantel. Oh, it's nice to finally talk to you. I see you all the time. Hi. It was nice to just like slow down and pick up one drill at a time and just take my time and not have to be frustrated by wax that is slip sliding all over and putty that is getting stringy. It was really, I love those. And you can actually get these if you're not a Dreamer Design fan and you want these. You can actually find these on Amazon. You can find these plastic tips. They're really nice. I never get more because I'm always ordering from Dreamer Design. I love Dreamer Design. I know a lot of people like to compare them to Diamond Art Club, and I get it, but Diamond Art Club is Diamond Art Club. Not everybody could be Diamond Art Club because they're Diamond Art Club, but I get it. But I think that they are striving to be, to take care of, I think that they really do listen to their customers, and I think that they are striving to be better and really listening to their customers. And look at this beautiful canvas. I know a few of you just signed on, but look at this beautiful guy. I love him. I love Rico. I love him, and it took me too long to take him back out. And the colors are gorgeous. I mean, this is what I'm working with today, and I needed this boost, much like when I was watching Anthony this morning, who was taking Anthony from Single and Placing. It was a long video. It was like an hour and a half, and he was getting ready with me this morning as I was getting ready for this live whip and chat, and he was saying, like, I really needed this walk. I needed this walk, and Apollo needed this walk, and like I needed this color. Do you have any trouble with gapping with Dreamer Designs? I've been having some gapping. What are you working on? I think I know Haunted was from Dreamer Design. That's the witch. And then I will tell you, when I did Crimson, I was freaking out. I loved Crimson by Curtis Rykovich, but I found that their AB drills were a little big and kind of a little bit more domed. But when I put them in, like I really had to really snap them into that small drill space. Boy, it just made that canvas. She was wearing a boa, and you could almost saw like where it looked like there was like fur coming out of the boa. I love that painting. I did Crimson, and I'm doing Crimson. I don't, but I will tell you, I think I thought of Haunted because I had gapping there. I had gapping on Haunted, and that was Diamond Art Club. And I was like looking at the drills, and I was like, why do they look off? And when I finally put them in order, there was some gapping around there. And I'm like, was this intentional? Like, you don't know. working on the newer kits. Like the newest kit that I have from Dreamer Designs is Rico, and I have absolutely no gapping at all. None. And I think every company has their challenge. Like I was saying earlier, I love getting my Muka paintings from Diamond Painting Shop. But it's getting to be really tedious at this point, and I'm hoping that the black drills that was just a bad batch, like that was just a bad bag, and I'm hoping that the next bag that I open, there is so much. I think that this came out of like just one session. There's so much trash. There were broken drills. There were here we go. I have so many of them. I could just pull anyone out. They're just stuck together. They do have cute kits. Some of them are getting a little bit too, for me, for my taste, a little dark, and I haven't been on there much, but I like the I was looking at it yesterday, the Christmas train, because it has my husband's birthday on it, which is 18, and that ties back to something that we were talking about with what do we do, Self-Care Sunday, and he was talking about with the whole basis of this channel. I always tell you guys, create the world that you want to live in. And I was telling my husband, that tagline just came out of my mouth one day. And he said, no, it didn't. It came from the story that I read you when we first met. And I think what I want to do is, because we had such a great response to me having my husband on and us just talking, you don't see us. We're like voiceover to me diamond painting, but we had such a great conversation based on Julia Cameron's book that I think I want to have him read that book. It's a very short story, but it has to do with creating the world that you want to live in. And I love the Christmas train. I love a lot of their Christmas designs. I love a lot of their holiday designs. I think they're really, really nice. I don't know if I was on there. Oh, I was on Diamond Art Club yesterday. I was on Diamond Art Club. Anybody have any suggestions for kits that will travel well? I don't want to get too involved. I was thinking like maybe coasters. I'm going to do the little Peanuts gang, and all of them were there. That's from Diamond Art Club. And I bought something else from Diamond Art Club. What else did I settle on? Oh, a Muka. So I always get my Mukas from Diamond Painting Shop, but I'm going to get this Muka from Diamond Art Club. I think I want to compare them. And I'm getting Winter from Diamond Art Club. There's two of them. And I think that Diamond Painting Shop has the Winter panel where she's stooping down, and Diamond Art Club had the one where she was standing up. Yeah, I like that one. But I'm just starting to dip my toe into confetti. And that looks like there's a lot of confetti in that one. So I don't know if I'm trying to get like a little class together with what I've learned from confetti, like psychological tricks of how to enjoy confetti if you're afraid of it like me. And, I had a custom kit done by Dreamer Design. I don't know how many of you have tried custom kits by Dreamer Design. I really like doing master paintings, and being that there's so many master paintings in the public domain, I'm like, well, let's give it a shot, Dreamer Design. I'll give you a Klimt that I've never seen before, and it's the woman with the hat and the feather boa, and they did a beautiful rendering on that. And I just think that they have a hard time with their black drills. I gotta tell you, color blocking is not easy. People are like, oh, there's a lot of color blocking. The one that I was just talking about, she has on a black boa, and it's like, I would say it's a good solid 2 rows, 20 centimeter by 40, all black, because it's going around her neck. It drove me insane. I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. I'll get out my big diamond paint shop, little, is it over here? It's been floating around my desk. Now it's missing. Like a 15 placer. Oh my God, I was going insane. I know that some of you love Diamond Art Club placers. Do I have one here? Where did it go? I tend to have no luck. And I think that maybe it's because they're just made for Diamond Art Club diamonds. I find that when I place with these, If I'm using Dreamer Design, I should just use it now and see, just to make sure, jog my memory. It is. And it kind of wears you out. You kind of get sick and tired of the color. It's like, okay, I had enough of this. And so I was doing that one, and then I went over to Night's Rest, and the whole border that was waiting for me was black. I was like, oh my God, I can't get away from it. And that's why sometimes my canvases look like they had a stroke, because I'll go right to the middle of the canvas and I'll cut out a piece and I'll be like, I want to diamond paint that section, and that's what I'm doing. I learned that from when I did, um, it was Diamond Dots Van Gogh, and I got so involved in that painting. I loved it so much. It was mesmerizing to do that painting. And I'm like, I really don't know that much about Van Gogh. I should really read about this painting. And when I was reading about it, it was like, it was really the irises that had me obsessed. And they wherever I was at, whatever curator I was listening to, they were talking about this one white iris. And I'm like, well, mine doesn't have a white iris on it. And I went and looked, and I'm like, oh, it does. And it was the last block that you would do if you were diamond painting left to right and then go up one, right to left. It was the last color block that you would do. And it was all ABs. And I wanted to do that so bad. But instead of like breaking the rules, I waited till the very end, and I had such anxiety to get it done. So now I've learned my lesson. If there's a juicy part of a canvas that I want to do, I'm doing it. I did that with the Winter Fox. I'm like, I just want to diamond paint her, and then all the rest was just gravy, because all the rest was just background trees and water and like snow. She was the focal point. She was the winter fox holding the two foxes. And once she was done, it was easy to do the rest. That was really basically all color blocking in the back. What are you working on now? Because you said you're doing a newer kit. If you're still here. I'm going to try this diamond painting shop, Diamond Art Club placer with Dreamer Design drills. Did I put new ones in yet, or am I still like gabbing? Yep, I put the 3s in. Let's see. And I'm sure you want to see too, so let's get back to business here. So I don't know. I'm the type that I don't like bigger placers, because I find that they become misaligned. They don't really fall into the drill box. You still have to play around with them. I would rather use like a 4 placer. I would rather use this to place my drills. Well, that wasn't very delicate. It wasn't very dainty. They pick up nicely. Oh, I have putty in here too. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe it just, I've been doing a lot of diamond painting shop with the Muka canvas. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. I did like what I got from the 2 clips that I got from Diamond Painting Shop, which were Woman in Gold. I liked their rendition, and I had liked the Kiss. I liked their rendition to that too, because their special drills were 3D drills, which were flowers, and that made that canvas very pretty and very unique. But I found that, using Diamond Art Club placers to place drills. See, it's humid out and the putty is just sticking. I wasn't having this problem at all when I was using my little shorty. This is from Enabler's Outpost, along with this one. I like these two. I don't use them that often. And I have wax. These are my wax buddies in here. So I wasn't having that problem. And again, you know what it is? It's these placers. I get these from Amazon by a company called Star Or, Staroar. And every time I go on, they are sold out. But not are they only sold out of the placers, they're constantly sold out of everything. Everything with this company. I really like these plastic placers. You see how I had a problem even placing this in the line, placing the putty in the line here, I don't have that problem with this. And this is a 7, and I believe, would this be a 7 or a 10? Let's look. Let's see. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. This is probably a 10. I'm going to try it again. Do I have a line that's... It's okay to do it here because there was nothing beside it, but I was having a hard time putting these drills in if there was something on both sides. So this is, you know, I would like to say that this is the current project, but there's a lot of current projects coming. I'm still waiting on Dreamer Design to give me an email that they have mailed the new custom that I'm having done. Because like I said, I tend more towards the masters. I like this kit. It's fun. I like crimson. I like lilac. I even have another one by Curtis Reikovich. It's called Daydreamer, and it's the mermaid, and I didn't even start her yet. I did an unboxing. I kitted her up, but I did not, I didn't even put washi tape around her yet. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing her. I was so in love with the Klimt that I had made through Dreamer Design. And, oh, Christmas in July. That's a pretty one. I'm working on a Merry Christmas by Reagan Kubik. Yeah, Christmas in July. Like, that's what I was talking about. I want to get, my, whatchamacallit out. I want to get, what's her name? Oh my gosh, Crimson. I never finished her for Christmas last year, and I want to take her back out. And I'm like, I have to take you out in July. You have to be in July so that you're ready, because I'm going to put Crimson and Lilac. I put them together in my living room for Christmas. I don't do a lot of decorating, but the two of them together, they're just fabulous together. I love them together, and I want to finish her before I start my Diamond Dots Woman in Gold. I can't even believe that I got that kit. I think it was because I had just done 2 Klimts, and I had just done a Woman in Gold by Diamond Painting Shop. I can't believe that Woman in Gold by Diamond Dots has been on my wish list for forever. I could not wait to get it, and here it went upstairs. I think I might do Christmas in July next year. I think because I do so many masters all during the year, and like I was saying earlier, if you're just checking in, I really did not do a lot of checking in with Summer with the Masters this year. I didn't like watch the videos and catch up, and I don't even really know what distributors signed on to say, hey, if you're with Summer with the Masters, like last year, I think if you went on Etsy last year, there were a lot of distributors that were giving discounts for if you were with Summer with the Masters, which was nice. Like there was a distributor list. There might be on Katie's or Anthony's, and I'm just not aware of it. But I know I bought a lot of my diamond painting pens at that time, because you're shopping anyway. You might as well shop when you're getting an additional discount. But I think this year, with everything being a little bit more lax with Summer with the not lax, easy. They made it easy. They made it easy for you to participate, and they made it easy to get gifts out. That the rule this year was it didn't have to be a new start, and it didn't have to be finished. And I think that took a lot of pressure off of people. And I don't know. I think for me it was like, okay, if I get it done, great. I can always just do my Lady in Hat and Feather Boa. But now I'm into this. Now I'm into this. Now I'm into this color palette, these beautiful paint. I need this color palette in my life right now. I really don't want to go back to browns and golds right now. Maybe I'll finish that up in the fall. But for right now, I need this kind of summer vibe going. Summer with the Masters is over July 31st. It ran from June 1st to July 31st. And probably the easiest way to participate was this year. I've been with them for a few years. And I think this year was the easiest year. I know last year, like, if you won, like, they were mailing out, like, gift baskets and stuff. And this year, everything was just done electronically, which was, I'm sure, such a pleasure for Anthony and for Katie to have that kind of ease. And I believe that there's... Anthony was saying this morning that there's a contest with Diamond Dots on Instagram. You have to go on Katie and his Instagram. And it's they're giving 3 kits away. One of them is the Great Wave, and the other one is the Cypresses by Van Gogh. So if you go on there, I don't know, I think you're supposed to tag someone. You're supposed to like both their pages, tag someone. And one other thing, there was like 3 rules, and they are giving those 3 kits away. But if you are interested in those kits and you want to get them right away, as I was saying earlier, I was listening to Anthony, and he got his from Joann's. I didn't even realize that Joann carried diamond paintings, and he got his from Joann's, and he said he paid $45 each, which I think is very, very reasonable for a diamond painting. Especially those. The Cypresses is beautiful, but again, so much confetti. Now you guys are going to laugh because I ran out of storage. I had to take a box from my shoes. I do have new kits coming. I had to take the lid from my shoes, and hey, guess what? It's working great. I don't have little ones around. My cat doesn't jump up on my diamond painting stuff. So the gods are always listening. I don't even know why I'm saying this out loud, but so far, so good. I just had them I was like, oh my gosh, I emptied out the kit when I started Rico and then stopped. And then I needed it for something else. One of my Elizabeth Ward containers. And like, what am I going to put these in? I don't want to empty out this and that, blah, 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 blah. And I just took the top from a shoebox. There we go. There we go. So my drills are in here. Now I'm looking for, I thought I had this out already. And that's the other reason why I don't like starting and stopping a diamond painting, is because you then start to, you lose your flow that you got going. Well, I have this guy out. Oh, I think these are ABs. And if they're ABs, I'm going to have to go get my spray bottle. My husband moved it. Oh, they are. We get to place some ABs here. 7 and 0. And do I have this one too? Do I have 3 ABs in this section? Oh, there's the 7. No one's right. I knew I took it out. Where's the arrow going down? Where did he go? Here he is. Okay. Yeah, we get to do some ABs in this section. I'm going to go get my spray bottle because he moved it. And if you are wondering why I need a spray bottle, I used to keep water on my desk, a little cute little vase I had with water in it. And Foofy decided, my cat, that this was going to be his drinking bowl. They're so nuts, cats. They really are. They're just so goofy. Does this go in here? No. And I was telling you guys that, I use the Dreamer Design boats to put my ABs in. But I don't know. Let's try it. Let's do it. This is number 000. Which one do I have the most of? Does it matter? No, I have a lot of them coming up. So, all right. So I could put some in here. And then this is number 7. Put some in here. You're only picking them up one at a time anyway, so I don't really think it matters. And they're not They're not, you know, commingling with each other. They're in there pretty good. So we'll do those. And the reason why I have water out is because I take, you know, the piece that we fold it back. I'll put water on there. I'll spray it on. And I have these little droplets of water on my piece of cellophane here. Am I in the shot? Yeah, right here. And what I'll do is I'll use that little cone that I get from Dreamer Design. That I get from Dreamer Design, and I will just use it to pick up the water. I always have to make sure I'm in the shot. I have to, this is like my second live, and I learned a tip today about going live. So if you're a creator and you want to go live, they were saying that you should do like a test drive. Like I found this out 15 minutes before I was getting ready to go on. Do a test drive with going live by putting the setting on private so that only you see it. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have learned this sooner. So you see how easy they pick up? Just with a little bit of water. And I don't have to worry about wax. I don't have to worry about, well, I wouldn't use putty on my AB drills anyway. And I'll keep these out in here. And it's nice for when you do come across an AB and they're already out. This one might flying across the room. Always one. But if I wanted to, let me see, where's the other one? Oh, 7. I can even, when I wet my wax, I can pick up lines of ABs with my wax if it's wet a little bit. And with these placers, I love them. I'll put a link. And oh, I love placing ABs. There's going to be a lot of ABs to place on Night's Rest because you guys had the choice of what you wanted to see today. Did you want to see ABs go in Night's Rest, or did you want to see Rico? And everybody said Rico. Give us Rico. I don't blame you. I'm going to use that tip and pick 3 up. A little staticky. One jumped on board here. He got shot across the room, but he jumped on. I love this. I think as we get closer to the top, you're really going to see, you know, I just think the flower is amazing. The border is amazing. There's just a little bit of black and it's in the border. I like multi-placing ABs, but you know what? I also like to pick them up one by one. I love this tool. Like I said, you know, in the summer when everything was sticking and everything was, you know, when the wax was sweating and the putty was stringy, I used this a lot. And I'm going to leave my ABs. They have their little placers from Dreamer Design that you get with your boat. You get, this is part of their toolkit. I put them on the side. I have another Dreamer Design boat here. And we'll do this one so I could show you that. Look at this, like, oh, look at the colors together. If this doesn't make you happy, color therapy. If this doesn't make you happy, now you really want to go overboard, put on Serga, S-E-R-E-G-A, the DJ, and listen to his music and do some diamond painting. And oh my gosh, with these beautiful colors. And again, it just picks up the drill so easy, just with water. I did a little whip and chat with men who diamond paint, and I have to go visit those guys. I seen that Jim, diamond painting with Jim, got the kit that I got. He got it before me. He actually did an unveiling for Dreamer Design. He did the Snoopy gang. Yeah, I got to get back in touch with the guys that diamond paint, and this one has a hole in it, okay, and see what they're up to. see what they're diamond painting, or if any of them are involved with Summer with the Masters. Hey, Canadian Diamond Dot Witch. I just saw something that you're doing. You came across my feed the other day. How are you? You're a rocker. She's always got the best music on her too when she's diamond painting. Good. What are you diamond painting? I saw it come across my feed, but I see so many things. I can't remember. Doing good. Just like I'm trying to get out of a funk, and I came up with a few ideas of getting out of a funk, and I'm sharing it with you guys. And I did it yesterday on my whipping chat, like, um, just, what to do. What do you do? What do you do when you're in a funk that you just can't, like, when you just can't get motivated? And yeah, we can get lost in our diamond painting, but I had a feeling that I was getting too lost in my diamond painting and my meditative arts, that I wanted to, shake things up a little bit. So what do you do when you're in a funk? And what are you diamond painting? Oh, I'll have to check that one out. That sounds amazing. Glowing Lotus by Lay and the Mermaid Cavern. Nice. I'll have to check that out. I'm looking at your icon. If you only see the top of my head, I'm looking at your little icon with your name next to it. You even have headphones on, right? I think music is a great way to uplift your mood. And like when I find a DJ that I like on YouTube, like this guy that I found, my husband was like, "What the hell is going on downstairs?" I was like, "Oh, I'm having a party. It's Friday night. You're dead to the world." There was a girl that I actually used to listen to. I wonder if she's on YouTube. Where did I find her at? Her name is Donna DeCruz, and she's Indian, and she is a DJ. But she's really known for meditation and her meditative what is it that she does? Like she has these like meditations that you can do with her, but she's a DJ and she has these fabulous headphones. You should check her out. I'll put a link. Donna DeCruz. Um, she has she's got really like some nice like hypnotic beats that she does, and this kind of meditative um guided meditations is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, she's a DJ, and she's like so fabulous. Like she's so gorgeous too. She's so fabulous. I love her. But she's known for her headphones. Everybody that sees her wants to see what they match every outfit that she has. I would love to do something like a lotus or a Buddha, but like I was saying, I'm already chill enough. If I start working like on like a Buddha or a lotus, I'm gonna put everybody to sleep. I'm just loving this palette. I'm just loving this palette. I'm loving this tomato red and purple, and oh, just love it. So there are two things. Of course, diamond art, of course, like, music. And then again, I was telling everybody, get fit with Rick. He's got some great music, and I do too. I've been doing these dark canvases lately, like a woman in a feather hat and boa. She's very dark because it's a nighttime scene. And, the Muka, not dark, but like more autumn colors. And, in this extreme tropical heat that we're having, I was like, what am I doing? I need to pick me up. And I was like, Rico, because when I was doing not the Winter Fox, when I was doing Foxy Lady by Camilla DeRico, that just had a lot of bright colors too. It was just such a joy to work on that canvas. You just felt happy when you did it. Happy little canvases. Who's the guy with the paintbrush? Happy little trees. Happy little, I can't think of his name. Oh my God, he's like an icon. I'm getting so bad with remembering names and things. It's terrible. It's terrible. And that to me is like you have too much in your brain. You have too much in your head. Well, I only remembered Rico because I saw a video of a little baby flamingo standing with his mother, and he was standing on one leg, and he was like, "Hey, I'm tired of this." He put his leg down, and then he looked at all the other flamingos because you know how they travel, like in a group, they all walk together, and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm a flamingo. I think I gotta put my leg back up." He was the cutest little thing. I'm like, Rico, I have to go dig Rico out of my art room and bring him back out. And even to like even just do a dreamer design too. I was saying with dreamer design, I don't get any gapping, but I do find that their drills are different. Maybe it's me, or maybe that this is just a different color palette. That's me too. I literally wear myself out. I can go down this rabbit hole where, you know, my husband John and I, he joined me on Sunday for Self-Care Sunday. Now I was just diamond painting and it was a voiceover, but we were reading from a book, and it's all about listening and, you know, who you listen to and like who are your heroes. And so we went into this big kind of conversation about who our heroes are. And my husband said he started from when he was like 5 years old, who his heroes were. I thought he was going to say his dad, but he said Evel Knievel. I was like, oh my God. Like he broke like every bone in his body like twice. You know, he was like a daredevil that used to jump over like 50 school buses. And I was trying to think about who my heroes were as a little girl. And I'm like, well, I have a story for you, but we'll have to do that on a private chat. Who isn't though? I mean, I have investments in like CBD and whatever. You know, it's crazy. You know, it's just should have been something. But what I never understood about smoking is like, you know, nicotine is okay. Well, I think you guys now, don't you need a prescription for nicotine out in Canada? I don't smoke, you know, but I don't mind if anybody else does. I don't smoke nicotine or anything. Oh, where did I hear that at? That you need, or you're trying to get a prescription for nicotine? You know, know where I heard that from. And I was like, well, you know what? It does kill people, nicotine. Maybe we do need a prescription. Maybe it should be. You know, I don't know. People are always saying that, you know, oh, this is bad for us. Look at what the government is doing to us. This is so bad for us. Now they're trying to save lives, and they're complaining. Or maybe, is it Austria? Australia? Maybe in Australia you need a prescription now for nicotine. Well, you know, I don't know. People are just doing crazy things, though. You know, when people want things, it's like if they want it, and the warning's on there, and they want to smoke nicotine, let them smoke it. But you know, but if you could prohibit somebody, maybe make the warning a little bit bigger, then you know, to each its own. This is what individual rights are about. To each its own. But so John and I were talking about who our heroes are, and he went down to Evel Knievel, and I was thinking about who are my heroes? Who did I have as a little girl? And I really couldn't think of anyone, and I was getting upset. And I was like, you know, all I remember from my childhood is I stopped for 20 years, and one day I went to the store and bought a pack of cigarettes, and I started smoking again. Like, I think when you start smoking nicotine, I think it's pretty much like if you can be addicted to alcohol. Because even though I stopped for 20 years, the, the, the craving for a cigarette just was, especially when I was under stress, I was like, today's the day I'm going to go buy a pack of cigarettes. I'm going to the corner. I'm going to go buy a pack of cigarettes. And one day, after 20 years, and someone said to me, how did you stop for 20 years and you went back? I'm like, because the craving never stops. And then you reach a point where, same thing, pandemic. My dad died right before the pandemic. He died in March, and we had the last funeral here in Philadelphia, March the 8th. He was the last funeral, and the funeral parlors closed down. And then all of a sudden, it was like, you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't be with your family. You were locked in a room. You're like, you can't do this to people. If smoking is a way for them to cope, because it was for me. And then I stopped again. After, I started after my dad died, and I stopped when John's mother died, which was like a year later. And my husband was telling my girlfriend that I drank a little too much one night. And she's like, my girlfriend doesn't drink. She's never drank in her life. She'll like sip a drink, but she doesn't drink. Oh, honey, during that pandemic, I should have bought stock in tequila. That's what I should have bought stock in. Because tequila is a muscle relaxant. And I just was like, I was becoming a very proficient bartender during the pandemic. And I was like, hiding behind it, that I was like creating all these drinks for the restaurant. Yeah. I was like putting it on Facebook, all these great drinks that I was making with tequila. And I was like staging beautiful, you had all the time in the world to do this stuff. It was crazy. Part of me feels like it didn't even happen. And the other part of me just feels like, how did we survive it? Every one of us has lost friends or family during that time, jobs, marriages. I went through it all. But I just don't know. I don't know what nicotine. I think that it is addictive. And I think that even when you stop, it is still there. And I still have periods where I want to have a cigarette. And my husband just said to me yesterday, I'm so glad that you stopped smoking. Because, his mom had, and my dad too. My dad's generation, they were smoking. They were so young. And my dad smoked Benson and Hedges. And me and my brother would sit back and laugh. Because my dad could light a Benson and Hedges. They were like this long. And he would read a book and drink a glass of wine. And the ash would be on the cigarette, would be like this big. And me and my brother would just sit there and wait. We would wait for it to fall. And it never did. He would take a drag. And then he would just like zip it off. But I think he had them big long cigarettes because, he would just get involved in his book and having a sip of wine and drinking. But my dad was My dad was smoking from a young age. Young. Like, and his whole generation, 15, 16, they were smoking. And my dad would smoke one cigarette after another. And John's mother was the same way, same generation. That's what they did. They smoked. That's what they did. Sometimes John will come home with like some kind of CBD, something or another. I don't know. That thing. I didn't start that young, but as soon as because my father was crazy. I had to I was petrified of my father. Not that he would have, hurt me in any way or, but like he was like one of those dads, if my mother said, wait until your father gets home, I knew I was in trouble. And I was a good kid, but I was terrified. I was terrified of him ever finding out I had a drink or I smoked or anything like that. So I didn't. Oh, the vape. Yeah. Sometimes John will come home with something. His friend has a CBD store and I'm like, do you want some? I'm like, nah. But then one day I tried it and I had one smoke and I'm laying in bed and he's like, are you all right? One puff I had. He's like, are you all right? I'm like, I feel like a marble statue. I feel like I can't move. What the hell did you give me? And he's telling me the difference between the, whatchamacallit. I'm like, please. I'm too paranoid for this. I'm too paranoid. I wish I just got the munchies where I sat around and ate because I would sit and eat a sleeve of cookies. But no, I get paranoid. I'm the worst person to give something like that to. But I was talking about, who were my heroes? And it has been dwelling on, talk about thinking too much. I actually said something on the voiceover, and I said, well, John said, well, you had your writing. You used to write. Because I would look at these, I had a lot of kids on my street growing up, and they all played with Barbie dolls. And I said, yeah, you're right. I used to sit out on the step and I used to write stories about how stupid the kids were. And that's been bothering me that I said that. Hello, Scraptastic Crocheter. Oh, I haven't been crocheting in a while, but I love it. That's what they're the two. They're the two. That's what he said. Sophia. Yeah, I felt like a marble statue. I felt like God forbid, I just couldn't move my arms, my legs, my entire body. I was just like glued to the bed. One puff. I'm like such a baby. I'm such a baby. A baby. I have such a sensitive system. I can't even take like an aspirin without needing a prescription for it. But I've been dwelling on the fact that I said that the kids that I grew up with were stupid because they played with Barbie dolls. And then I thought about it and I'm like, it's not that I didn't play with dolls. I didn't play with Barbie. I didn't like Barbie. I couldn't relate to Barbie. And then I thought, well, you were a young girl. Like, what was it about Barbie that you didn't relate to? What was it? Because there was a lot of feminists that came out during the 70s or the 80s, and then they decided that Barbie needed a brain and she had to go to school and she had to be a lawyer or a doctor, which I was like, I never got that impression with Barbie that, she made me feel inferior or gave me a body image. And I really thought about it and I'm like, I know why I didn't like Barbie. First of all, she never smelled right. Whatever they were making that doll out of back in the 60s and early 70s, it had a terrible smell. And then her joints only bent one way, and then they decided to give her jointed, and her wrists would click 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 click, and I was like, oh my god, the elbows and the knees, she would make all these funky moves. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Just like a woman, you couldn't put her shoes on and then they wouldn't stay on. They always fell off. She didn't look like me, but I really thought about this for 2 days. I'm like, why didn't you engage Barbie? Well, I'll tell you. She was what, this big? She looked like a little mini adult. Like, Honey, I Shrunk My Wife, And she wasn't a baby doll. See, you love Barbie. But to me, she wasn't a baby doll. She was a woman. She was a woman. She was a shrunken woman. She was a mini woman. And, the whole, the I didn't know. When I was a kid playing with Barbie dolls, I didn't, I was in a training bra till high school. Didn't know what these things were sticking out of her. But I did have dolls. I had dolls. I had Baby Party, and I had Chrissy and Pebbles. I loved Pebbles. My mother threw her away. Doctor told her I was getting too attached to the Pebbles doll, which wasn't even a doll. She was a bank. And so they took her away from me. They took my Pebbles doll away from me. And I had Chrissy, who didn't look like anybody I had ever seen. She had, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, so everybody had dark hair and dark eyes. And then the next neighborhood over, everyone was Irish. And so everybody had blonde hair and blue eyes. But Chrissy had red hair and green eyes. And she had hair that came out of the top of her head. And it was real long. You whipped her hair out of the top of her head. And it got real long all the way down to her feet. And then she had a doorknob in her back, and you would spin it. And her hair would go back into her head. And we spent hours playing with this doll that all different hair lengths. Oh, Chrissy's going out to dinner. Maybe she'll do an updo. Chrissy's going to go play tennis, whatever. We would, just, I spent hours with that doll. And then there was Baby Party, and she was my favorite. It does suck. It does suck that a doctor told my mother that I was too attached to a Pebbles doll, Pebbles Flintstone, who was the cutest little baby on cartoon TV. And my mother, in the middle of the night, came and threw her away. And she was just a piece of plastic. She didn't even move. I just loved that doll. I just loved Pebbles. And Baby Party. I had Baby Party. Baby Party, she blew balloons and she blew a horn, she blew streamers, she blew a whistle, she had a little party hat, she had a party dress, and I was like, I'm going where that baby's going because she knows where the party's at. I love that doll. I love that doll too. But yeah, Barbie, I just didn't connect to it. And then you have a whole new resurgence of Barbie and women that were like getting, pink hair, bubblegum pink lips, pink nails. And I was like, wow, I just really never caught on to this. And I never really felt like I missed out. Like, what was the craze that I missed out on? But yeah, so talk about overthinking. It's been with me for 2 days, and I had to really think about why I didn't like Barbie and why I didn't relate to her. I guess because I never thought that she was like a little girl like me. She was a little woman. She was a tiny little woman. And my mother didn't look like that either. There's a bigger Barbie now. Well, you know what really got me? Like when I was in the 80s, there was the Cabbage Patch craze. And then I think that's when the feminists came out and they were like, Barbie needs to go. Barbie's a lawyer. Barbie is a doctor. Barbie can be whatever she wants to be. Well, Barbie wasn't doing too bad. You know, Barbie was living in a condo in Malibu with a Corvette and a bunch of friends and a great tan and a boyfriend. Barbie was doing all right. And I think that was the other thing too with Barbie. Like, you knew who Chrissy was. This was a way for you to style her hair and let her do different things. And you knew who Baby Party was. She was just a party and a doll. But I don't know if there was ever any backstory like meet Barbie. And here's why you should meet her. This is why we think you're going to love her. Like she didn't I think, didn't she come with accessories later? Like the Corvette and that, because I remember the little girls in my neighborhood just going like nuts when she got the condo and the Corvette. And then she had other little Barbie friends that came to meet her. My girlfriend was so crazy about Barbie that she went to she was passing by like a little flea market store, and he had a box of Barbies. And I think I took a picture of it. I swear to God, on my next Whip and Chat, I'm going to put it up. And it said, please don't undress the Barbies. He just had to throw it in a box. G.I. Joe was in there, and all different Barbies and all her friends. And so, and they were only $1. And as a joke, we were going out one night, and she pulls these Barbie dolls out and gives them to all of us. So there was Barbie Angel, Barbie Elisa, and Barbie Dawn. She had, and I'm telling you, we stopped traffic with this doll. We took this doll everywhere. She was a part of our night. She was sitting in our margaritas. We had a blast. That was about the only time I ever had fun with Barbie. But I don't know who her little friends were. But the one Barbie looked just like me, and the other Barbie looked just like my girlfriend Angel. And of course, Barbie looks just like my girlfriend Dawn. So I'm going to put that. And then I was in Center City, and there was like this old 80s store where you could have got like 80s paraphernalia, t-shirts and jewelry and stuff. And in the window, they had like a mosh pit of Barbie dolls. And I'm going to put that picture up too. I'm going to do an ode to Barbie. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to do an ode to Barbie and just apologize for not, accepting her into my childhood. Oh my gosh. There's the diamond painting that looks like, I do have Facebook. It's Elisa Maria Designs. Yep, Elisa Maria Designs. And I have my personal one, Elisa Maria Pescator. But I think they're linked together. And I think I'm on Instagram. I'm so bad with social media. I have these companies that want to team up with me. And they're like, you have like no social presence. Like you have these things every now and again. It's like, you come on. I think Instagram is Elisa Marie Designs too. Okay, I'll look for you. I definitely will accept you. You can see all the craziness that goes on behind this social media madness. You do a great job though. I am always interested in, and I've been saying this for a while, and I want to interview people that I enjoy as creators and have them talk about their creative process, their creative area, where do you create? Where's your desk? How do you go about it? What do you do? Like, there's so many creators that when I watch them on their YouTube channel, it's like, how is she doing that? How is she like, how am I looking at her? But then there's like another window where you could see what she's diamond painting. I'm always so curious about where people want to create, when they create, what their process is. And my friend Dante wrote a really cool song, and he's here on YouTube, and I shared it with my subscribers, and it was just like an awesome song about Philadelphia. And I was like, you're one of the people that I want to interview. And so I don't know if this is going to be another channel or just like a little kind of like video that I put up, because now, even after John and I were doing this Self-Care Sunday together, where he talked about his heroes and he talked about books that he loved, and I was like, I would love just to diamond paint and have you read in the background stories that inspired you, stories that you shared with me, stories that I think my subscribers would love, that are based in this topic of creativity. So I will touch base with you on that. Did I finish Rico? No, he's got like one line left. I'm such a Sidgy. I leave one thing left undone. That's a Sidgy attribute. My mother used to say, you leave one thing in the plate. You don't eat all your food. You always leave one thing. Well, it kind of spans. Am I in the shot? I gotta do that one line there. Now I'm gonna give you guys a little peek at what Rico is looking like. And I love these striations in him that are supposed to be like his feathers. I just love that. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing, because I will inevitably mix two drill colors together. I do that all the time. It's like, it's not diamond painting if you don't mix your drill colors together. I'm sorry. And then it becomes like a meditative practice where I get out the aligner and I'll throw them, like I'll put them like on a flat surface, and I get the aligner and I'm like, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Think about the monks. Turn it into a meditation. He's almost done this little section. I didn't even refer to any of my notes. I'm so bad. I'm such a kind of like fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl, that, I'm like, well, I should really have these things that I want to talk about, just in case there's any kind of like dead air, you're looking for things to say, this is what you can talk about. And you know what? I didn't look at those notes not one time. That's it. You are done, mister. This section is done. I forgot to put some ABs in, and there's just one that's missing. Of course, there's always one. I'll get everything out of the way here. I'm so glad you joined me, Canadian Dot Witch. I haven't been able to get over to your channel, but I did see you come up on my feed. I have a few people that I see all the time that make a comment, and thank you for joining me this time around. What I do with this piece that I cut off, I don't even use like a cover minder because they make me crazy. If you put your cover back on when you're done, if you just feel with your fingers, you can feel any of the drills really easily that are popped up, and you can put them in place. I don't have any that are popped up. I did a good job today, even with all my talking. But then what I do is I keep it on top, because if I have to align any of them, this little bit of slip on top from the plastic or the cellophane, whatever you want to call it, that's one good thing that comes from there. The other thing is that you don't hit all the way down to the canvas where you're picking up glue from underneath the canvas. And you don't get your, you know, your little liner all sticky, but then again, you don't disrupt the canvas either. So I like that little tip too. And if I see any ones that look like, oh, they can use a little, you know, joining together, I'll just, you know, do like a little cross hatch right in that area. And they come together pretty easily. Gosh, this is such a beautiful array. This is like, speaking of Barbie, Barbie would have loved this canvas. It's got all her trademark colors in here. So let's get that piece off. And what is, oh, today's Wednesday. I'm like, what is today? Now, see, I feel this here. Oh, there's even a few over here. Oh, no, that's just a loose drill. Okay. No, there's a few here. Oh, there it is. I'm just using the little piece of cellophane that I cut off to go back. Wow, there's a few here. And pop in. You can hear them snapping in. I can feel it really well through the plastic. You could feel them popped up. Oh. There's one here. There you go. There's another one. It gives your eyes a rest too. So you're not straining your eyes to look. Oh, there's one here. You can hear them popping in. It's kind of fun. And sometimes I think, like, if you're worried about gapping and all, sometimes it's the line. Sometimes, like, maybe there's not one that's in, and so it misaligns the other ones. I think I got you all. Oh, okay. I'll look for it. As soon as I get off of here, I'll look for your message on Facebook. It'll give me a reason to go there. I need a reason to go there because that's like a big vortex that just sucks you in. Facebook. I think that's why I'm never on there. Even though I have, I do have a business that's on there, and I have my diamond painting page that's on there, and I have my personal page that's on there. Hey, Rico. Here he is. And again, like if you weren't here earlier, I was saying what I love about the top of him is the border. I love this border. It kind of reminds me of Muka a little bit. It reminds me of Muka. And, you know, there's some color blocking in the back. I think the black really is the color blocking, and there's not a lot of it. That fades into like a navy blue. I just love the blue feathers coming down the back of his head. Beautiful flowers. Gorgeous. Nice job, Dreamer Design. Really nice job. And I believe, I looked today, he was sold out. Yeah, I just took him out. I got him, I think, I'm going to say I got him last year, and I put him away for the summer. And then I also got one by Curtis Reikovich called Daydreamer, and she's a mermaid, and I never took her out. But I have other things coming, and like it's like we're in July. I can't believe how much of this month, this year is, well, the month too. The month is already like gone, but how much of this year is just, it's like before you know it, kids are going back to school. That kind of accelerates things, and then you're looking at Halloween, and you're looking at drills and chills, and you're doing Halloween stuff, and then Thanksgiving is coming, and Christmas is here, and I'm like, my start of 2024 was not great, and I feel like I'm still waiting for 2024 to begin. Like it, for me, it just started, you know, between getting COVID, and then I had that like long COVID. I thought I was like losing my mind, where you just don't feel like yourself, and you know it. I called my doctor, and I'm like, He's like, well, what do you want me to give you? You want me to give you a Valium? Do you want me to give you that? I was like, I don't want anything. Did you just meet me? I can't take an aspirin. You want to give me something to take? I just want you to tell me it's going to be okay, and I'm going to start feeling like myself again. But it was a while before that, and then it just seemed to be like one thing after another. I broke my ankle. How could I forget that? I broke my ankle, and had that, drama. And I'm such a baby. I can take huge amounts of pain, but something like, I think when you have a break in your body, everything that you're holding on to, it just floods to that spot, and it just finds a way out, and you're just having like a mental, emotional, and physical breakdown. All because I wanted to go to the playground. I wanted to go on to this. We have a beautiful playground that was just redeveloped. We have a beautiful lake area. My girlfriend too. Yeah, she has bouts where I don't even, I don't even hear from her. And when I don't hear from her, I know that she's had a flare up. I have friends with MS. I have friends with fibromyalgia. I have friends with all different kinds of autoimmune immune diseases. And, I can't imagine, because um, I'm so aware of time. I am so aware of like where I place my time, what I do at my time, how productive I am. And I'll tell you that one time that I didn't worry about time was COVID. I just was like, I think I was having loss of consciousness, and that's why, my head would like just kind of tilt forward, and I would get up, and I would be like thinking like it was the next day, and like 10 minutes would have gone by, and I'm like, this is not taking a nap. This is literally, you're losing consciousness at this point. It was so, it took 4 years to catch up to me. And then when it did, it knocked me so far. It just was like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I really wouldn't. And then for someone like you that is going through bouts of, where you're just knocked out, but you're doing a great job. You really are, because I know that you're out there, and you have your diamond painting, and you're coping with your pain, and the way that you cope with your pain, the way that a lot of people cope with pain, and that's what, being in this funk, that I think it was just like, I think it was just like, I think it was the heat, like that. This heat just made people crazy, and I was just like, I got to get out of this funk that I'm in, and what am I going to do? So okay, let's put on the music, let's get a different diamond painting, let's get some movement, because that's part of self-care. And I love Get Fit with Rick. You guys got to check him out. Get Fit with Rick. He will, as soon as you turn him on and take one look at his face, he reminds me of somebody, and I'm thinking it's a Seinfeld character. I think it's a Seinfeld character, because as soon as he comes on and he's ready to start marching, he's got this big goofy grin. He's a good looking guy, and he's just like, he's ready to start, and he just gets you going. He's like a DJ dance instructor. He's got great music, and you just can't help but like have this big smile on your face. And after 8 minutes of walking and doing a mile on my Fitbit, and I'm like, I feel so much better that I did that movement. And eating right, trying to, here on the East Coast, we're all about Jersey tomatoes when they come into season. Getting our Jersey tomatoes, I just went and got like a huge watermelon, so much of it that I can't eat it. I'm throwing it in my Vitamix, and I'm making watermelon juice. Fresh corn, zucchini, like all these things that I just have not been eating. And like, we just did a farmer's market over the weekend, and I was just like, well, okay, I could buy this fresh food. I'm like, well, now you got to cook it. You got to do something with it. Yeah. Do you go to walks? Do you go on walks with your headphones on? You have something on with you? I I I'm trying to be aware of my environment and just listen to my environment. And also because, I'm in Philly, and things are a little woo woo here. And I need to really be aware of my surroundings. So I can't. I used to love to go like for a walk. Apple used to have a podcast where they had different people that did walking conversations, and the one that I loved the best was Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, and you can hear them walking, like they're walking with you, and yeah, my husband's like, you're becoming too clustered in the house. You're becoming like you don't go out the way that you used to. And I'm like, John, you know what? I opened the door a couple of weeks ago to go take a walk, and there was a guy across the street helping himself to my neighbor's hose, taking a shower. I just like closed the door, and I'm like, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going out in the yard. I'll go sit with the birds. I still can't believe that guy was taking a shower. I can't believe it. And there's like a public pool down the street. Yeah, it's gotten insane in this neighborhood. And we live in a great neighborhood. When I was a kid, so like Broad Street is like your main road. And so you either lived above Broad or below Broad. And I lived below Broad. So if you lived above Broad, then, you know, you were woo-woo because you had cable. We didn't have cable below Broad. It was only above Broad Street. But if you lived more south along Broad, you lived in Packer Park. And Packer Park were like these cul-de-sacs that were kind of like Knots Landing. And like you kind of knew that like those people have money. Well, I live right off of like not too far from, I live more like in Stephen Girard. I live right off of Packer Park. But when I was a kid, it was like a big deal. And this neighborhood is still great. You still know all your neighbors. Like nobody is like a transplant, which we have a lot of here. We have a lot of people from we are like a melting pot. We're kind of like Florida. We're kind of like New York. We're before it was just like you knew it was generational. People that went in and out of homes in your neighborhood. Now it's very transient. You get people from all over. And I just think that when you come into an area, like when I lived in Florida, I didn't go there with an attitude that this is how things are done. You know, I did things like Floridians because I wanted to fit in. You know, when I lived in New York, I did things like, well, I had to learn a lot of lessons in New York. I had to do things the way that they did things in New York because I'm like now a New Yorker. Here, forget it. They want to tell you how to live. They call us here in Philly the leftovers. Isn't that a nice name for the people whose city that you've decided to move into? Oh, they're the leftovers. You don't have to listen to them. We're coming in and we're going to change the way that they do things. And they have. They really have. They've changed them and not for the better. And what drives me nuts is that they change things and then they walk away. Like, we want this. And then when they do it, they just decide, well, we really don't want that anyway. I guess it's, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a little crazy here in Philly right now. And so I'm so looking forward to that road trip where me and John are just going to get in the car and we're going to go to, we're going to take a road trip to Florida. I can't wait. I hope you guys had a good time here today. I did something really, brilliant for me. I went and put my notes on top of an exposed part of this canvas. And I'm going to have to maybe soak this in water. I've got the spray bottle right here. The notes that I did not look at are stuck to my canvas. This is the way I'm going to end this. This is the way I'm going to end this Whip and Chat. Oh my gosh. Maybe this is a teachable moment. I don't think, anybody, please, anybody have any idea what to do here? My notes got stuck to my exposed. This was actually the part that I was supposed to be diamond painting today, but I knew what I did early on and I just kept talking. I was like, oh, thank God I have a part on this canvas that is not done yet. And I could, I think I'm just going to let this soak. But if anybody has any idea what to do, please leave me a comment. Oh my gosh. I know that water will not hurt your canvas. And if I just have to take this off and like, I'll go to Diamond Art Club. I think they have a glue. So that if you have any dead spots that you could, oh no, not only, I'm hoping that did not transfer. No, it didn't. I was looking at the writing that I had underneath. I'm like, the writing actually transferred to the canvas. I'm going to get this off and I'm going to start working on this right away. I'm going to let it dry and see what the stickiness is like. This is my life. I'm glad I had this spray bottle here. All right, I'm going to let that soak. I'm glad everybody was here. Thank you for joining me. And I will, as always, see you in the next one. And I will check my Facebook page for your message. And I'll get back to you while this soaks. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here. You too. Take care.